Hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and of course we continue talking coding, we continue talking robotics. Meanwhile, it's just normal for us to acknowledge the fact that the 8 a.m. newscast was what we just watched now, an interesting passage there, of course. And you're still watching Cameroon Daylight. It's CRTV News. I'm Guy Roger Nana, and I'm still in the company of Mr. Cheka Norris, Director of Coding for Kids. And of course, he is equally one of the brains behind the Empower Hard Tech Foundation. Equally with Mr. Ngala Daril. He is an engineer and, of course, equally a trainer within the technology domain at the Green Springs Digital University. It's here in Cameroon. Young initiatives that are doing, or young initiatives that are making waves within the country's political capital, and of course expecting to go even beyond. We are going to be talking some more coding, we're going to be talking some more robotics in the program. And of course, before we left here today, or before we left in the first part of the program, we were trying to find out, trying to understand how robotics and, of course, coding would serve in the future. And I must admit that, Mr. Cheka Norris, you highlighted one specific point. You said one of, or rather you highlighted the fact that the three canons, if I can call it that way, of coding actually highlight everyday life. The everyday life of an average Cameroonian. That means it puts to the limelight aspects that highlight our day-to-day activities. And of course, it's something which we need to learn to accept and integrate, not only as specialists or trainees in the particular domain for future students in the domains of coding and robotics, but also we need to understand that tomorrow lies actually there. So what should we, or why should we be looking at coding for kids as that particular empowerment factor?
Yeah, coding for kids, Guy Roger, is a great initiative that we want to touch the life of children.
Yes.
Like I said before the 8 a.m. news, you see, with coding, it teaches you how to live the day-to-day life, like I said. And when you look at the principle of coding, when you start, what's the first thing when you have a project in front of you? You make a plan. After making that plan, what did you do? You start executing the plan.
Yes.
Then you keep going, you have a goal. After you test what you've done, and if it doesn't go, you don't give up.
Yes.
You start over again. So look at it when we get up today. When we get up to start our daily activities, what do? We don't just get up about, then you're just moving. You're moving haphazardly. It means that you don't have a goal, you don't have a plan.
Yes.
When you get up in the morning, I have to make up my bed. After making up my bed, I have to brush my teeth. After brushing my teeth, I have to clean my room, clean the parlor,
yes,
clean kitchen, then I have to take a bath. I have to go to school. For a normal child,
yes,
I have to go to school, I have to study. After going to school, I come back, I have to clean up, have my lunch, go to bed, get up, study my book, then
go to rest.
And if you encounter any difficulty, of course, you don't just go about giving up that, no.
Actually, my reason for raising this particular issue is as a result of the fact that parents out there need to understand why they think, their kids should be initiated in such a domain. If I was a parent who just meets you now and says, Mr. Cheka, you keep talking about coding for kids, you keep talking about robotics, why should I be actually interested concretely in this particular domain? What would you tell that parent?
Yeah, what I would tell the parent is that coding for kids, or coding, help your child, or helps us as individuals to think beyond can imagine. Because it opens a lot of avenues for you. Creative mindset.
Yes.
That helps you now to look for solutions to problems.
We are looking at it at the level of the kids here.
Yeah.
Because we should admit the fact that we have Mr. Ngala Daril, who is an engineer. He's equally a trainer within the Green Springs University. We'll get to that particular aspect with you, sir. But the young children, from what you're telling me, Mr. Cheka, it's not an issue which we should start thinking about from university or from high school. It's something which you're saying, even at the primary school level, it should be integrated like the English language, like the mathematics, like the history.
Yeah. You see, when you look at children from the age 3 to about 8 to about 9, they have their own world in their head.
Yes.
You understand? They think. You know, you'll be surprised with what they think. They have brilliant ideas. They're building castles in their head. So what do? We help them materialize those ideas by creating video games using Scratch. Yeah, like the last time we had a program, thank God you were there. You see what the children are able to do. They're building video games, they're building stories, love stories.
Yes.
And Rose in Wonderland, like we see in most Disney channels and these our animes. That is what coding does to children. Yeah, it helps take what they have in mind and help them create it, bring it to life.
It helps them to actually concretize those things that they watch on television. And of course, that takes me to you, Mr. Ngala Daril. I don't know how complicated this question may sound, but how do you envisage a career profile in these domains when you're looking at coding for kids and robotics? Now I'm putting myself in the position of a parent. The thing is, we're talking about kids here now. You are at the university level, but a parent who is having a daughter or a son who is in Form 1, Form 2, the next thing that comes to mind is, okay, you're talking about robotics, coding. How do you start envisaging? What are some of the possibilities? Those are questions he's asking. Yeah. What does my child do at the end of the day with coding and robotics? What can my child do at the end of the day?
Oh. There's a lot of openings that a child and anybody into coding and robotics can do. I love to paint the picture, look at the picture, the future. The future is all about that.
Yes.
There's a trend right now, and we are in the fifth industrial evolution, where we are going to be interacting with a lot of machines. Every sector is going to be affected by computing. Every sector is going to be affected by robotics. I was giving a thought from where we left about the emerging Cameroon. Emerging Cameroon, when we're talking about the economic growth of Cameroon, we're going to be talking about industrialization.
Okay.
When we talk about industrialization, we're going to talk about processes. And when we're talking about processes, we're talking about automations. And then that's where we're going to be having a lot of computer automations, that is coding. We're going to be having a lot of robots that are going to be doing repetitive tasks that humans does not necessarily have to.
We have cars that drive themselves.
Yes, we also have those kind of stuff. So if a parent can be able to look at the future, be able to open themselves to what is coming, you can be able to know that there is a very bright future in that. Look at the world, look at the Western world. Everything is just transforming, and we need to start talking about such subjects. We need to start adapting our system to inculcate this kind of stuff, because that is where the future is getting at. And coding is like a language, and we must learn the language. Talking to a computer, making a computer to execute what you're asking him to do, taking those things that you have in your mind and make it as a reality. Coding can bring about that. And robotics, all about training a machine to be able to do some certain tasks that can make human beings or animals or whatever. So that is how the future is getting at. The fifth industrial revolution is already here. So we should be interested in those stuff. So the future, the picture of the future should be what a parent should be thinking at, and the child as well. Yeah.
And of course, still in the direction of education, one thing that comes to mind now, I'm imagining that as we are speaking right now on Cameroon Daylight, there is probably a primary school owner or a proprietor who is asking him or herself, how do I integrate such training in my school? Is it feasible? Do you need to have a lot of money to pay the experts to get the machines? Is it a feasible something, especially at the basic level? You guys are succeeding with the Coding for Kids initiatives because it's a brainchild. It's something that comes from the heart, and you're definitely putting yourself in the condition where you have the means to handle those things. You've done the research and all that. What would you tell a school proprietor who is wondering, how do I integrate, for example, coding or something, a course in robotics within my primary school?
Oh, okay. I will tell that.
Free advice.
Free advice, yes. It does not take much.
Yes.
I think most schools have computer labs.
Yes.
coding is a language,
Okay.
just like English language, and you have softwares already that are free that you can be able to leverage on those and be able to teach. They are free materials, and also if you have an instructor or you have somebody that can be able to guide in that area. So the starting is very simple. So you don't need to build an infrastructure
Have a
of
big building,
no, you don't need
so
that.
many computers.
No, you just need your computer lab, the necessary a software installed in it,
Yes.
and you have someone that can teach the student very well, and then that mindset is being instilled in them, and then that you're good to go.
That's an interesting one to see. I feel like Mr. Daryl, I feel like Mr. Cheka, you're itching to say something.
Yeah, like Mr. Dar is saying, you know, it's true. Coding and robotics is quite expensive.
Yes.
But to start, like he said, you don't need much. You don't need much.
You need the heart and the passion.
You need the heart and the passion. And of course, we have raw materials around us. The other time I was him, we had some laptops that came in from China.
Yes.
And what did we do with the cartoons of it? We started creating robots out of those cartoons, like prototypes. Yeah, what we did is the name of that robot is Tinker.
Okay.
Yes, we named it Tinker. What is the use of it? Is to help transport documents from one office to another.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't need all those sophisticated equipment to get started.
Yes.
Yeah, you just need the basics, like you said, a computer lab, computer, and an instructor that has that passion to do that.
When I visited your offices yesterday, one thing that came to my mind is this concept of playful learning. Probably it's a concept which I would need to develop and get to be able to put it much more into context. But what I tried to understand from that particular concept that came to mind was playful learning, getting the children to transform their toys into study material.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when we talk of coding and robotics, we see a lot of toys, we see a lot of little machines, cars, and other gadgets, which kids would generally just ruffle around. But at the end of the day, you see that no, they don't just throw those things or play around with those things, but they actually use them to have creative ideas at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe before we separate here today, gentlemen, especially to you, Mr. Cheka Norris, a lot of people are asking themselves right now, how do we get not only in contact, but get an opportunity, a spot to study something that have to do with coding and robotics? What's your orientation for this morning?
All right. Like we said the last time, and I told you about the sustainability of a coding program.
Yes.
Mr. Daru is here. Is a lead instructor, tech instructor, and robotic
Tech
guru.
and robotics guide.
At Green Springs Digital University.
Yes.
So here's a quack, here's a mix. At Empower High-Tech and with our partners, GLAPI Foundation, of course, you see, we teach children coding from 5 to 18. Different levels.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the time they are 18, that is the time we are going to the university. Now, that's where Green Springs Digital University comes in play. That's the sustainability we are putting in place. We help now those children to develop more those aspects of what they've learned from the coding program. And now, you know, Green Springs, when I talk of Green Springs, it's situated at Hawaii. And Hawaii, just after Permonti, just 1 minute drive from Permonti.
Yes.
And we have our office also at Novero Bastos, opposite KM Plaza. And for more information, parents can just drop by, pass by the office, and we're going to orientate them on board the coding.
Call some phone numbers. Do you mind?
Yeah, you can call the number 652 25 8253.
8253.
Yes.
Those are numbers, and I want to believe that if somebody types Green Springs on Facebook, you're definitely going to find something.
Yes, they're going
you can leave a message and you get the
Facebook.
necessary orientation.
Yeah.
I believe, you wanted to say something?
Yes, you can visit the website www.gsdu.org.
Yeah.
gsdu.org.
Yeah, GSD for Green Springs
Digital University.org.
Yeah.
You see the website and you can be able to navigate your way through.
Yeah, and definitely get the diverse options that are being offered there. I want to say that next week we are going to be looking at how robotics can transform the agricultural domain.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
job
true.
seeking via robotics. That's what we'll be looking at when you come here again next week, because it's going to be a consistent moment of mind transformation, because we are all here to remind Cameroonians that there are options which they can take apart from doing the one-way things we have always been doing all our lives. There are other options, and of course today robotics and coding stands as an option which we all need to take.
Yes.
Yeah. Roger, before we go, I think Cameroonians need to know that we need to take advantage of what we have in our country.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are creating a Cameroon that is going to be the capital of coding and robotics in Africa.
Okay.
Like I told you in the beginning, we are diverse. We speak both languages, French and English.
Yes.
And we are welcoming. So we need to take advantage of that and make a Cameroon the capital of robotics and coding, and make it the capital of even emergence in Africa as a whole.
Definitely setting the pace, because we've heard of countries like Uganda, Rwanda, setting the pace. Nigeria, next door neighbor, and Cameroon definitely needs to make the difference.
Yeah.
It's an honor to talk about interesting things like that with you, gentlemen, and I'm very pleased to know that we'll keep talking just like this until the right ear gets the right information.
Thank you.
In a moment from now, I will be welcoming some gentlemen from the northern part of Cameroon. Of course, just to tell you, this is an information I'm sharing with you and our viewers, the official outing of His Majesty Abubakar Feikal. He is the Lamido of the Mogode, he is the Lamido of Mogode, and of course there will be a mini festival in honor of this official outing of this Lamido. He's called His Majesty Abubakar Feikal, Lamido of the Mogode Canton. And of course, the dates of this event will be from the 18th to the 21st of December 2024 in Mogode. Have you heard of Mogode before? I'm sure it's you've probably heard about Mogode, because I know you guys are CRTV viewers, and of course it's a locality that comes up from time to time on CRTV. And of course today we will be welcoming a few members of the technical organization of this event. They will be coming here, just replacing you on your seats, to talk to us about this very interesting cultural event. Gentlemen, thank you very much for honoring us, and of course I believe it's with pleasure that you give in your seats for the others, for our guests, right?
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll have a breather.
Thank you.
We'll take a little breather on our TV set, et bien sûr, dans un tout petit instant seulement, nous allons recevoir nos dignitaires sur ce plateau. You're watching Cameroon Daylight. It's CRTV News. Always an honor to get